नमस्कार, मी मिस मॅनर्स. बऱ्याच दिवसांनी भेटायला येण्याचे कारण मी काही तुमच्यासारखी रिकामटेकडी नाही. असो, आजच्या संस्कार वर्गाचा विषय आहे राखी. राखी म्हणजे सावंतांची कन्या नाही बरं का. असे फुटकल विनोद करण्या एवढी माझी बौद्धिक कुवत कमी नक्कीच नाही. असो, फ्रेंड झोन सारख्या आता नव्या रूपाला आलेल्या पाश्चात्य कल्पनाचे मूल आपल्याला भारतीय संस्कृतीमध्येच सापडेल. आपल्याला जो मुलगा प्रो टाकतो त्या मुलाला राखी बांधून मानलेला भाऊ बनवणे हे अत्यंत कुशल्याचे काम भारतीय स्त्रिया प्राचीन काळापासून करत आलेल्या आहेत. तर आजच्या संस्कार वर्गात शिकूया ह्याच रक्षाबंधनाचे काही शिष्टाचार.
How did this happen? How did I end up in that costume, speaking Marathi, putting this video online for everybody to see? I don't know why I decided to do that, but basically this is the result of probably 5 to 6 years of my journey back and forth to and from India, and Miss Manners is actually a character. I don't dress like this in real life. I don't speak Marathi like that. Miss Manners lives on BhaDiPa, a YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with BhaDiPa, then you may say it's something like a TVF or a college humor, something like that. And they make videos and lots of different things. So I'll just give you a little preview video which we prepared to give you an idea as to what is BhaDiPa.
तर भारतातला पहिला फ्रेंड झोन झालेला माणूस होता.
मला सर म्हणण्याची आवश्यकता नाही, कॅज्युअल आहे.
तर ते नाही, आयडी प्रूफ आहे का?
तुम्हाला आधार लिंक करायचंय का?
तुम्ही राहता कुठच्या सोसायटीमध्ये? एवढी लोक आहेत तुमच्या सोसायटीमध्ये? हाय सोसायटी आहे का? अच्छा,
मग वरच्या मजल्यावर. बाकी काय?
Bharatiya Digital Party is a Marathi language content platform, and the reason why Miss Manners is on there is because I'm one of the owners. So I am a co-founder with my two partners, Anusha Nandakumar and Sarang Sathe. One thing you may or may not notice is there's something that's a little different about me from my founders. They are both Indian, they're both born and brought up in Pune, and believe it or not, I was not born speaking Marathi. I was born in Canada. I was born in a city called Vancouver, Canada, which is also known as the unofficial yoga capital of the world. You may know some of the films that have been shot in Vancouver, like Captain America, Deadpool, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Lots of different big films have been done in Canada, and you don't even know it. So that's the kind of world that I grew up in, not having a very strong, Canadian identity. This is the university that I went. That's actually where the story of me coming to India started. I was going to university over here. There was actually, I was in a film program, obviously, because I like to say that probably one of Canada's biggest exports is film students. We make a lot of them, and there's not a whole lot of work for us in Canada. The reason for that is that Canada actually is mainly a government-funded film industry. The entire country produces probably 100 films in a year, which is, I'm sure you all know, it's not a lot. And the rest of it is all work that comes up from Hollywood. So if you want to pay the really high rents in Vancouver, you need to have a paying job, because it's very unlikely you're gonna immediately get out of film school and start writing and directing and making a lot of money following your dreams. I started planning to do my career as a sound recordist and a sound designer, because then I could get a lot of work in Canada. I was about to drop $10,000 buying sound equipment so I could set up my own little shop and do, a one-woman whole film sound kind of package. And that was when I was, about to spend $10,000. I had an estimate, sitting on my desk at home. I got a call from India. Well, it wasn't a call, actually. It was an email. And it wasn't actually from India. It was from my screenwriting teacher. My screenwriting teacher had sent an email out to the entire film class saying, there's an expenses-paid internship in India for 3 weeks or 6 weeks with a VFX company. Who here wants to apply? And I thought, India, I don't know, I don't really do yoga. Apart from the yoga, everybody I knew who would come back from India would come back with a yoga teaching certificate, a bindi, and incense sticks, And although Vancouver is 60% Asian, there's a huge Punjabi population over in Vancouver. I actually thought that that was pretty much representative of India. I thought that I had had Indian food. I had butter chicken. I know what Indian food is. I thought, everybody speaks Punjabi in India, probably. Everybody dances to Shami Kapoor songs in the Alps. This is literally what I thought. I had no exposure to what the real India was. It was, 30 years in the past and very much, whitewashed, and blame the media. I also thought everybody loved Gandhi, so I don't know what to do about that. But I thought that, it's an expenses-paid trip, but I don't really feel like going to India right now. Maybe I should go to Europe or something instead. But then in a couple of hours, as I sat down at my desk and I saw this bill of $10,000 for this sound equipment sitting there, I thought, it's expenses paid, maybe it's my last chance to travel for a while. And so I applied. And I got it, because not many people applied. Apparently, I wasn't the only one who had these thoughts. Not many people applied, and I was the only one who had actually traveled outside the country by myself before. So I got it, and I was very excited. Great, awesome, 6 weeks in India. I went and I got my visa. I got my plane tickets booked. I got vaccinated for Japanese encephalitis. So I was ready. And that was, about 2 weeks before the actual flight took off. I got a call saying that the VFX company has pulled out. Yeah. Which was great, actually, because I didn't want to sit in a VFX studio the whole time. It turned out I showed up for the meeting where they said, they've pulled out of the whole internship, I said, so what are we going to do? I've got my visa. I've spent some of this money already buying my tickets. And they're like, well, luckily, this whole thing was funded by Western Economic Diversification Canada, which mainly was trying to create business ties between Canada and India so that they can do more business together. That was the whole point. And they were sending any kind of students to go to India to do internships. So they said, what you can do, take the funding, go to India, take as long as you like, and just come back and write a report. Write a report about the Indian film industry. So I said, okay, how long? How many pages? 2 pages. All right then. Cool, I think I can do better than that, and I really did try. I actually sort of had my mind blown right before coming to India because that screenwriting teacher, she shared a bunch of DVDs with me of Indian films that I should watch. And it's being film school, right? So they're the, the parallel films and like the cool new stuff that's coming out at the time. So before coming, I went directly from, Shami Kapoor to Dave D, Delhi Belly, Wake Up Sid, Vicky Donor, and I was like, wow, okay, now I get it. This is clearly whatever I think about India is false. Just go with an open mind. And that was sort of, the first time that I really, in hindsight, I can say I was very thankful that I took that opportunity, obviously, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. But there I was, I was ready to, be a sound designer for the rest of my life, which I was excited about, but who knows, I went to India, and I actually, here we are, having fun in India, That's me and my research partner who I came with on the first trip. So we came to India, and I directly landed up in Chennai from Vancouver in May. It was hot. We were at IIT Madras, and we were on the campus, without AC, and we were doing a 10 days student volunteering gig at a cinema appreciation workshop. So that was sort of a nice little last-minute thing that they managed to fix up for us so we could start, getting our first footing in India with some familiar territory. And, oh man, I just discovered South India was a thing. I didn't even know that they separated it into North and South, and it was just India for me before coming into South India. And I, obviously discovered regional languages for the first time, so you can see where that led. But, idli, sambar, vada, filter coffee, I don't know what to do with this stuff, but I was so excited because, again, my mind was blown. I thought, oh, wow, everything I knew about India was false. I know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Just go ahead and go forth beyond the wall and see what's waiting for you over there. So we did this appreciation workshop, and there was really one amazing thing that happened there was I got a chance to meet some fantastic filmmakers who really helped us out with our research. Anurag Kashyap was one of them, Sriram Raghavan, the cinematographer Ravi K. Chandran. So really impressive people, and I discovered something which really helped me in my research, but also going ahead after that was to not be afraid of asking, When I had come outside of the lecture hall, Anurag Kashyap was, standing over there, and there was a big crowd of 40, 50 students around and some faculty, and he was standing there with just, one teacher, and it was like there was some invisible force field, around him, about 3-4 meters bubble. And I thought, I was looking around, are there security guards? Is there an electric fence? Why is there this bubble here? And nobody was going up to talk to him. So I thought, okay, well, we have to start our research somewhere. We walked through, and it was as easy as that. He gave us his card. He said, when you come to Mumbai, meet me in my office. We'll do the interview, and you can learn about the film industry. So, that was a huge lesson for me, just to realize that, even if somebody has a lot of status, and I had seen Dave D at this point, so I was, a little bit starstruck as well. You can ask for things, and so long as your ask is reasonable, people will do what they can to help you out. So that was another really important thing that I learned. So after Chennai, we went to Mumbai on a really painful 24-hour train journey, 2 white Canadian girls stuck together on an upper berth for the whole trip because there was some aunties down who wanted to stretch their legs. We were too polite to say anything, we're Canadian. So we ended up in Mumbai, and the first thing we did was we got off the train and we called up Ravi K. Chandran. He said, I'm shooting an ad, come to Film City. And we were like, great, first day in Mumbai, directly going to the center of Bollywood, Film City, how exciting. And we showed up, and it took me a while to get over the South Indian lunch buffet that they had. But once I got past that, I walked on set and I realized, ironically, I landed up on the set of a Fair and Lovely ad. I'm not joking. No, I didn't ask me to act in it, thankfully. But it was very interesting because, as soon as I stepped foot into Bollywood, it was like this strange reckoning, coming face to face of this inequality and self-imposed racism, which kind of struck me very, very hard later on once I got over that South Indian buffet. And it was very interesting. And that, that kind of thought was what put, Miss Manners into my mind, a few years later was, translating this, how are we going to make fun of this whole idea that, a white-skinned woman can, sit and teach us what we should do, how we should act, how we should sit. Because actually Miss Manners is a real-life woman who I'm parodying here. She's a British old lady now. She's still writing. She's a columnist. She teaches etiquettes. And she teaches, table manners. And I had a lot of angst because my mom used to make me sit and watch her videos or VHS tapes. Third trip to India. I had seen Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai. I did 2 rounds of this research because I came back, I gave 17-page report about the film industry, about the regional film industries and what Canada and India can do together, and they really liked it, so they sent me back again. Then I came back, finished my degree, and decided, you know what, sound design is fine, but I was so blown away by the Indian film industry that I thought, yeah, I have to come back. I just saw that there was potential. Even me, as a foreigner, as an outsider, maybe even I can have an opportunity to write and direct over here. Which, strangely, I didn't feel like I could do that in Canada, because they have all of these barriers, to get into that Canadian Film Fund money, which is there. So on my 3rd trip, I come back because I'm gonna be a second assistant director and a script editor on this independent film that's shooting in Pune. And I was very excited about it. And I landed up at Dadra TT to meet the casting director and the chief AD on that film. We were all gonna share a cab to Pune together. With Sarang and Anusha, we worked on this film together, and in that time, we discovered that we had a lot of shared values. We both really were excited by Marathi stories. Sarang and I were writing a film together. Anusha was writing a Marathi film. We really were inspired by the Marathi talent that we saw around us. It was shooting in Pune, and there was a lot of fantastic actors over there. And we decided, with these shared values, we should start a company, because for my visa, I also needed one. So we ended up starting a company called Gulbadan Talkies. And Gulbadan Talkies had a lot of big dreams. We were gonna go and make, films that were gonna change the world, Marathi content, all of this awesome stuff, but mainly, feature film focused. And in our first year of business, we shot 2 wedding films. We shot 2 wedding films, and we were a little disappointed. We thought that we would make it a little further ahead than that. We really believed that we had a lot of talent. We thought, we have a new voice. People should give us work. Why aren't people giving us work? And we realized that nobody believes us. You can't just go around telling people, I've got great ideas. You should trust me with all of your money. It doesn't work like that. And we realized, what we had to do was just put our heads together, make a portfolio piece or something that'll get us some ads or something so we can start making more money and then maybe start making films. So we put together, we got all our friends together in Pune. We pooled together all the money we had, 6,000 rupees. And we put that money into making a little dedication film for a brand that you're probably familiar with, Parle-G.
कोई चाय लेगा?
अच्छा ये सुन, तीखे में थोड़ा और तीखा हमें अच्छा लगता है, 100 हो जाए दंड तो 101 अच्छा लगता है,
साली अगर खूबसूरत हो तो रूठना अच्छा लगता है।
नाइस। कीचड़ में कूदना, शाखों पे लटकना,
माँ का आशीर्वाद।
भजिए का स्वाद,
पाव भाजी में एक्स्ट्रा बटर,
पापा का वो पुराना स्कूटर,
यस,
एक अंडा रोज,
सलाइन में ग्लूकोज।
What does it even mean?
सॉरी मैडम।
ईद की बिरयानी,
झांसी की रानी, बिन मौसम बरसात,
यार की बारात,
ट्रेन पे विंडो सीट,
अंताक्षरी के गीत, सचिन की सेंचुरी, बच्चन की है
और सुबह की गर्मा गर्म चाय।
भाई ये सब हमें अच्छा लगता है,
लेकिन चाय के साथ बस पार्ले जी हमें अच्छा लगता है।
अगर ये हो जाए तो और भी अच्छा लगता है.
You know, this video now has about 50,000 views on YouTube. But at that time, it was picked up by Scoop Whoop, BuzzFeed, Best Ads, and believe it or not, we actually got our first 3 real jobs from this video. You know, 3 brands approached us, one after the other, who came and asked us, you know, we really like that video you did for Parle Ji. Can you do something like that for us? So we said, yes, of course. That was the whole point. So we did this for a year, and we worked with a lot of brands after that. We figured out, you know, how do brands think? What do they want when they put money into content like this? And, you know, videos online started picking up like anything in India. You know, brands started doing videos for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. You guys know these videos. You see them every single day. There's, you know, any hashtag going around. So these videos became really popular, and brands would say, you know, I want a viral video. You're like, okay, well, I mean, what's the story? They're like, no, just give us like a viral video, something feel good, whatever, and just get us, you know, 1 million views, and that's fine. And we thought, you know, we didn't actually get together, you know, the Gulbadens didn't get together so that we could do this for brands, actually. We wanted to do something a little more, because we really believed in the talent around us. We really believed in the stories around us, and we just, after a year of this, got a little jaded, and we're like, you know, how can we do something else, something bigger? And that was when Sarang and I went to this conference called Fiki Frames in Mumbai. And this was in 2015. We were there to try and get a producer for this film that we wrote. And we were standing in the lobby, and on one side there was a talk going on about the new wave of Marathi cinema. And on the other side, there was this huge, huge banquet hall, which was doing an entire session on the new wave of digital content. And it had people from AIB, TVF, all these big people speaking on it, and we realized, you know, digital is becoming really big in India. I wonder, if Marathi content is so great and everybody's acknowledging that, are there any Marathi YouTube channels out there? So we went online and we searched, and we saw, you know, some maushis had put up videos of their recipes, you know, vangachi bharit and things like that, which I loved. And, you know, there was, you know, Rajshri Marathi, and these, you know, film studios had, you know, their channels open for their trailers and stuff, but there was no channel dedicated to making original Marathi content. So we thought, all right, maybe this is an opportunity. You know, we know how to make viral videos now, or we think we do. We kind of, you know, have the talent, we have the people around us. Why don't we start a Marathi YouTube channel? So we didn't just go into it willy-nilly, you know. I took an online business course, because they don't teach you that stuff in film school. I put together a business plan. Sarang, Anusha, and I, we put our heads together. We put together the whole vision for BhaDiPa. You know, we wanted to have 3 channels. We wanted to do music, web series, all these different things. And it took us 8 months of investors saying, no, we're not really sure that there's a potential for this. You know, we don't really think that there's a market. And we weren't sure, you know, did they not believe in the market, or did they not believe in us? Because to me, as a Canadian, it was really obvious. You know, we wanted to do something it's my own little trademark coined term, putting the cool back in vernacular. And, you know, Marathi was coming into its own, really. I mean, this is from 2014. They had this prediction that by 2021, there's going to be that many, you know, 700 million Indian language internet users, and very little people doing English. So we knew that there was potential. You know, 71 million Marathi language speakers worldwide. And for you, you might not think that that's a big number, because, you know, you live in India. But I'm from Canada, right? You know what the Canadian population is? It's just a little bit more than Mumbai. It's 33 million people. And we make just about 100 films a year with government money. And the Marathi industry makes 150 films a year. There's multiple Marathi language television channels out there. There's Marathi people make a living doing Marathi theater. I mean, a living doing theater, can you imagine? I couldn't imagine. I'm sure you guys can. So why was nobody doing web content? It just seems so obvious. So with all of that belief, we knew we had something. We knew we had a great idea. So again, we decided, let's pool our money together. It was a little bit more than 6,000 rupees this time. Put our heads together, and we shot the first episode of our first ever video on our YouTube channel, Casting Couch with Amaya Nipun with Radhika Apte, though her face is covered here. We shot it, and we were like, you know, we have to put this out there. We have to come up with a name for the channel. We came up with the name Bharatiya Digital Party because we wanted it to, you know, speak for the fact that Marathi language has a bigger reach than Maharashtra. You know, if you have good stories, you know, why can't, you know, somebody like me enjoy it? You know, you don't have to be fluent in Marathi. You can watch with subtitles. If it's funny, right? Doesn't matter what language is in. So we ended up putting up the channel. Thank God it went viral. We got, you know, newspaper articles, people in the Marathi industry were talking about it because nothing like this had come out before. And that sort of set a whole new ball rolling. And now probably there's at least, you know, 30, 40 different Marathi language digital content creators out there. And we're really, really happy that we were able to sort of lead that wave and lead that charge at the time. I mean, if we hadn't done it, somebody else would have eventually. So we're really lucky we got there in time. Now, BhaDiPa has, you know, over 25 million people watching it every week. We have over 300 videos and over 30 hours of content we have made across all of our channels in the past 3 years. We do memes, and every day we're putting out a bunch of stuff on all of our 3 channels. And that just brings me to the fact that, you know, people come up to me and they say, you know, oh, how do you know Marathi? Like, it's so awesome that you can speak Marathi. Thank you for coming to our country and speaking Marathi. Well, you know what? If you were in Canada, I would not be saying this to you if you were speaking to me in English. Right? You know, people don't even realize that this is happening. You know, people are so excited, but you know, you should expect it from us, to be honest. You know, Maharashtrians, you should expect, you know, if someone's going to come and live in your country, you know, pay taxes, work here, make a living, you should try learning the language at least, you know? Right? Shouldn't even applaud on that. You just be like, yeah, obviously. But that's what it is, right? You need to be so proud of your own language, your own heritage, your own stories, that, you know, Marathi language does have a capacity of going global. It has a reach, you know, beyond Maharashtrians and NRIs as well. You know, my family watches it. Non-Marathi speaking people watch it. All the time we hear about it. So I think it's important to just realize that if I can, you know, make it over here, you know, it's very important to remember that you shouldn't limit your thinking to what you think you should do or what you can do. Because I'll be very honest with you, when I was in Canada, I definitely didn't wake up thinking one day I want to go and create a Marathi YouTube channel. I didn't think that was like another planet for me, and it wasn't even on my radar. So this just brings me to the last, you know, few points to round this thing up. A few philosophies which got me here in my life is, one is, you know, keep as many opportunities open as possible. You know, a lot of people tell you, you should be focused, you know, you should follow a path. But I tell you what, being a Canadian filmmaker, it's not going to do a lot for you. Most of us Canadian filmmakers, if they're working in Vancouver, have other jobs, you know? You're not just writing and directing, you have to pay rent. So, you know, keep your opportunities open. You never know, do sound. Take that trip to India, do all these different things. And if you do this, then eventually you should hopefully have enough opportunities that you can start saying no to some things, right? And the alternative is not having enough opportunities and just having to say yes to whatever you can get. So keep as many opportunities open because you never know where it's going to take you. Ask, definitely, put yourself out there, ask people, but be responsible as well. I want to add that in there because, we get a lot of job applications at BhaDiPa now. And people say, give me an opportunity, give me a job. And it's a lot of responsibility to take on for somebody. But if you want to get out there and you want to, branch out and explore new things, go and approach people. It doesn't matter how big they are. But if you ask something reasonable, like, can I take you out for coffee and ask your advice on what I should do with my career, you're much more likely to get a yes than if you directly say, please give me a job. So it's something which is very scary, for somebody like me to take on that responsibility. Although now we have, 20 people working in our office, but it takes a long time to get there. The third thing is find your tribe. Without Sarang and Anusha, after that Marathi film I was working on, probably I wouldn't have made it much longer in India, to be very honest. It's not that easy to make it. But because I had these two, we shared values, we supported each other in our ideas, that honestly is what brought me here today, nothing else. It's because of Sarang and Anusha that I am here today. And the last thing is make your own opportunities. If you have an idea and you believe in it strongly enough and nobody else is believing in it, just do it yourself. I mean, you don't have to put your own money into it. At least just dedicate some time, dedicate some energy, put some confidence behind yourself into your idea, and ask for help. You'll probably find a way to actually do it. So if you have a good idea, make that opportunity happen for yourself. Don't give it to anybody else. And don't let anybody else tell you can't do anything. So that brings me to the end of my talk. Yes, I like it in India. Yes, I can understand Marathi. And yes, I love Indian food. Thank you so much.